Hello, I'm Kimberlie Acosta. Welcome to the Native News Update. It's Tuesday, February 22nd. Many of the stories you hear here can be found at our website, IndianCountryNews.com. And here's the news for the day from the Associated Press and other Native news sources. Setting up a potential clash with the NCAA, the North Dakota House on February 21st approved a bill that requires the University of North Dakota to keep its Fighting Sioux Athletics nickname. The university has been preparing to drop the nickname and its American Indian head logo this summer as part of a negotiated lawsuit settlement with NCAA, which considers both to be hostile and abusive to American Indians. House members voted 65 to 28 to approve legislation that requires UND to keep the nickname and logo and directs Attorney General Wayne Steinenham to consider an antitrust lawsuit against the NCAA if any penalties result. The bill now goes to the North Dakota Senate for its review. Supporters of the measure argue that North Dakota's Board of Higher Education, in deciding to discard the nickname and logo, ignored strong public sentiment in favor of both. Opponents of the nickname and logo say that they are racist and demeaning. Virginia's two senators have reintroduced legislation that would grant federal recognition to 6 of Virginia's American Indian tribes. Senator Jim Webb and Mark Warner said in a release that they've introduced the Indian Tribes of Virginia Federal Recognition Act. Last year, a committee approved the measure, but it didn't receive a vote in the full Senate. The 6 Virginia tribes are the Chickahominy tribe, the Chickahominy Indian Tribe of Eastern Division, the Upper Mattapony tribe, the Rappahannock tribe, the Mohican Indian Nation, and the Nansemond Indian tribe. Representative Jim Moran also reintroduced the Indian Tribes of Virginia Federal Recognition Act into the House of Representatives. Residents of White Swan, Washington are still struggling to get their lives in order after a fire burned down about 20 homes on February 12th. White Swan neighbors are providing meals, clothing, and home goods to about 40 displaced families. Carol Sutterlick, who is helping organize the volunteer efforts, says that families have plenty of donated clothing, but are still in need of home cleaning supplies, appliances, and money to start over. For more information, you can contact Wilbur Memorial United Methodist Church in White Swan at 509-874-2736. The law firm of Greenberg Treurig LLP is demanding that former Jack Abramhoff business partner Michael Scanlon pays $17 million to the firms in restitution for its payment to Native American tribes bilked in a fraud scheme. Scanlon's lawyers have objected to reimbursing the firm, arguing that the firm is not a direct victim and that the firm has knowledge of fees Scanlon was paying Abramhoff, the former Greenberg Treurig lobbyist who last year completed a 3.5-year prison term. Scanlon was sentenced February 11th to 20 months in federal prison for his role in the scandal, which helped bring down former House Majority Leader Tom DeLay. Native Americans are more likely to die from the flu, according to new research from the New Mexico Department of Health. The H1N1 influenza pandemic hit people from all walks of life, and the Center for Disease Control and Prevention warned that pregnant women, senior citizens, and children were among those in high-risk groups. However, the flu was a quiet killer for many Native Americans. We found that American Indians had a 4-fold greater risk of influenza death, epidemiologist Michael Landon said. Landon works for the New Mexico State Department of Health. He and other researchers teamed up with 12 states. With additional work in New Mexico, Alaska, and Arizona, we saw consistent information, Landon said. Native Americans across all age groups were dying at disproportionate rates from the flu. New Mexico sent its research to CDC, and it led to broad sweeping changes on who gets first dibs at flu shots. The evidence was strong enough to recommend that American Indians get priority with respect to vaccination for influenza and antiviral treatment. Skilled basket weaver Lucille Losaya of the Eastern Band of Cherokee is one of 6 Native American artists being recognized this year by the First Peoples Fund. The fund announced last week artists from 6 states who will receive a prestigious 2011 Jennifer Easton Community Spirit Award Fellowship. Each year, the national organization honors and celebrates exceptional American Indian artists who embody collective spirit. that which manifests self-awareness and a sense of responsibility to sustain the cultural fabric of a community. Each honoree is recognized with a $5,000 no-strings-attached fellowship. This year's honorees, in addition to Losaya, are Arnold Herrera, Cochiti Pueblo, Patricia Hicks, Paiute, Lanny Hotch, Tinklet, Dana Tiger, Muskogee, and Loretta Webster of Oneida. Honorees were nominated for the National Award by members of their own tribes and was selected by an independent panel of American Indian cultural leaders. And that's the latest roundup of news from Indian Country on this edition of the Native News Update. I'd like to thank you for joining me and have a grand day.